Welcome back, everyone. Today we are getting into a story that is sending shockwaves through the tennis world and across the entire global sports business landscape. There are moments when the foundations of athletic marketing shift completely. We are watching one of those moments happen right now. A new global superstar era is officially here, and the center of it all is Beaverton, Oregon at Nike headquarters. For decades, the Nike swoosh has been synonymous with tennis royalty. John McEnroe bringing rebel energy in the 80s. Andre Agassi reinventing tennis fashion in the 90s. Pete Sampras embodying pure clinical dominance. Then came the modern legends. Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and the Williams sisters. To be the face of Nike tennis is to hold one of the most prestigious and valuable titles in all of sports marketing. It is a crown. And right now in February 2026, that crown is being passed. The news dominating the sports industry today is this. 20-year-old Filipina tennis sensation Alexandra Eala walked through the doors of Nike headquarters this week and was given a reception fit for royalty. Industry insiders report that Eala is not there for a routine visit. She is being positioned as the new face of Nike tennis. Let that sink in for a moment. She is reportedly receiving the kind of full-building, red carpet treatment usually reserved for generational icons like LeBron James, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Tiger Woods. Reports across global sports networks and financial circles are pointing to a 3-year endorsement deal potentially worth up to $45 million. If those figures are accurate, it immediately places this 20-year-old among the highest-paid female athletes on the planet. To understand why Nike is making this move, you have to look at the perfect storm of talent, timing, and marketability that Eala represents right now. This also comes at a critical moment for Nike. Just this week, Emma Raducanu, the 2021 US Open champion and longtime Nike ambassador, officially parted ways with the brand to sign a major global deal with Japanese apparel company Uniqlo. Raducanu had been a central figure in Nike's global tennis campaigns for years. When her contract expired, Uniqlo stepped in with a reported $3.5 million per year plus performance bonuses, placing her alongside Roger Federer in their roster of athletes. On top of that, questions have been swirling surrounding. Here's a cleaner, simpler rewrite. There have also been questions surrounding Nike's long-term partnerships with other top players like Aryna Sabalenka. Nike found itself needing a new anchor, a fresh and talented face to carry their tennis division into the late 2020s and beyond. And they looked towards Southeast Asia. They looked at a player who has not only been breaking records on court but carries the passion and unwavering support of a nation of over 110 million people. The Philippines is one of the most passionate sports markets in the world, traditionally dominated by basketball. But Alex Eala has single-handedly sparked a tennis revolution in her home country. Every time she plays, social media engagement numbers go through the roof. Brands are realizing that connecting with the Alex Eala phenomenon is not just about selling tennis shoes. It is about reaching a fiercely loyal global diaspora and a rapidly growing Asian market. But it is not only about the market. It is about what she is doing on the court. As of February 23, 2026, Alex Eala has climbed to a career-high ranking of world number 31. She is the highest-ranked Filipino player in the history of the WTA Tour. No one from her country has ever been here before. She was the first to break into the top 100, the first into the top 50, and now the first into the top 35. She is beating top 5 players, taking down Grand Slam champions, and proving week after week that she is not a marketing creation. She is a genuine, dangerous force in the sport. The atmosphere at Nike headquarters during her visit was described by insiders as electric. Conference rooms were reportedly decorated with personalized gear. Presentations showcased a dedicated Asian market collection and a potential major global rollout built around her. There are even early rumors of a connection with the Jordan brand, which would be a significant development given how deeply basketball culture runs in the Philippines. The Jordan brand is essentially a religion in that country. And the idea of bridging it with the nation's biggest tennis star is exactly the kind of bold, creative thinking that major marketing moves are built on. Here's a cleaner, simpler rewrite. Pairing the Jordan brand with the Philippines' greatest tennis export would be a marketer's dream. And as we get into how we arrived at this monumental week, We need to trace the journey of Alexandra Eala, understand the strategy behind Nike's move, and unpack what a potential $45 million deal means for the future of professional tennis. Because you do not just walk into the biggest sports apparel boardroom in the world at 20 years old without a story built on real grit, elite training, and historic results. Alexandra Eala was born in Quezon City, Philippines, and was introduced to tennis at 4 years old by her grandfather. Her talent was clear enough early that she eventually relocated to Manacor, Spain to train at the Rafa Nadal Academy. You can see that influence in her game today. A left-hander with a dangerous two-handed backhand, she plays with relentless baseline aggression and a high tennis IQ that comes from spending her most formative years inside one of the most demanding training programs in the sport. She dominated the junior circuit and won the 2022 US Open girls singles title. But the tennis world is full of junior champions who never made it on the professional tour. The transition from juniors to the WTA is brutal. The game is faster, the opponents are physically stronger, and the mental pressure is constant. For several years, Eala grounded out on the ITF circuit, the lower levels of professional tennis, collecting 5 titles between 2020 and 2024 and slowly building her ranking away from the spotlight. Then came 2025. Specifically the Miami Open. Ranked 140 in the world, Eala was given a wildcard entry into the main draw. What followed was cinematic. She defeated former French Open champion Yelena Ostapenko. She took down powerful American Madison Keys. And then, in a match that stopped traffic in Manila, she beat 5-time Grand Slam champion Petra Kvitova in straight sets. A 19-year-old wildcard taking down Kvitova in straight sets. She became the first wildcard in tennis history to defeat 3 major champions in straight sets at a single WTA event. That run launched her into the top 100 at number 75 and announced her to the entire sport. She was not just a promising kid anymore. She was a giant killer. And she did not slow down. As 2026 began, the pressure of carrying a nation's expectations would have crushed most young players. Eala seemed to run on it. She reached the semi-finals at the Auckland Open. She made her main draw debut at the Australian Open where fans lined up hours early just to watch her first-round match on an outer court. And then in late February 2026, at the highly competitive WTA 1000 event in Dubai, she marched into the quarterfinals, defeating top 10 player Jasmine Paolini along the way. That run pushed her to a career-high ranking of world number 31. In 12 months she had climbed over 100 places in the global rankings. She is no longer an underdog story. She is a seeded threat that top 10 players are actively hoping to avoid in early rounds. So with that on-court resume established, let us look at the business mechanics behind Nike's decision. The sports apparel industry is in significant flux right now. The era of Serena Williams and Maria Sharapova, who moved billions in merchandise for Nike, is over. Naomi Osaka has been a major star for the brand. But Nike is always searching for the next decade-defining face. The recent departure of Emma Raducanu to Uniqlo was a real blow to their portfolio of young marketable female stars. Raducanu's 2021 US Open win made her a commercial sensation overnight, and Nike built major campaigns around her. But Uniqlo came in with a lucrative guaranteed contract and the appeal of joining a roster that includes Roger Federer. With Raducanu gone, Nike had a significant gap in their global marketing strategy. Millions in budget allocated for a Gen Z female tennis icon with nowhere to put it. And serious pressure to move before Adidas, On Running or Asics captured that space first. Enter Alexandra Eala. Nike has actually sponsored Eala since her junior days. She has been wearing the swoosh for years. But there is an enormous difference between a standard junior equipment deal and a full global brand ambassador partnership worth tens of millions of dollars. Observers who tracked the details of her Beaverton visit noted something telling. The large promotional walls at headquarters, which previously featured other international players, were reportedly completely replaced with Eala's imagery. She was given main character treatment from the moment she arrived. This level of investment is not impulsive. It is calculated. Nike understands that Eala represents a demographic opportunity that does not come along often. Southeast Asia is home to hundreds of millions of upwardly mobile, digitally connected consumers. Tennis has traditionally been dominated by North America and Europe, but the growth potential in Asia is enormous. What Li Na did for Chinese tennis over a decade ago, Ella is doing for Southeast Asian tennis right now. But she is doing it in the TikTok era, where every outfit she wears and every shoe she steps onto court in is immediately shared and discussed by millions of fans around the world. The cultural dimension of Nike's approach to Ella is also worth examining closely. She was recently featured in a major collaboration between Vogue Philippines and Nike that went well beyond a standard athletic shoot. It was a cultural statement. At 20 years old, Ella was styled in a blend of high fashion and athletic, where that connected her on-court intensity with her Filipino heritage. The standout piece was a custom Nike shirt featuring the sampaguita, the national flower of the Philippines. Ahead of Wimbledon, Nike had also gifted her a custom hair tie decorated with sampaguita blossoms, presented in a box designed to look like a miniature tennis court, with a handwritten note that read, "The sampaguita, a reminder of where I come from and everything that brought me here." This is not standard sports marketing. This is masterclass brand building. Nike is not just selling shoes or tennis gear. They are selling a story of cultural pride, personal humility, and fierce ambition. They are turning an athlete into a cultural icon. The fact that one of the largest companies in the world is leaning this deeply into specific Filipino cultural symbols tells you everything about how central Ella is to their global strategy going forward.